What is lupus? What is it? This is your girl Dutch on the scene, and you're having story time with Dutch. The topic of this video is, what is lupus? What is it? Is it a disease? Is it something that you can catch? What is lupus? So, I'm finna explain it to you. Okay, so it all started when I was 11 years old. When I was 11, I had this fever. It was 102. And my mom took me to my pediatrician that I used to go to all the time. And when I just went for, just getting checked up, they told me that my white blood cells or blood count was very low. When your white blood count is very low, that is dangerous, very dangerous. So when we found that out, my pediatrician escorted me to the hospital. And I got admitted for a couple weeks so they could figure out what was going on with me. Eventually, the doctors found out that I had lupus. At first, before I got diagnosed, they thought I had cancer. But it wasn't no cancer, it was lupus. Doctors didn't really know what lupus was around the time when I was 11, so that was like 2012 maybe. Yeah, I think. No, not even that. Like, a little further back. But they didn't even know what lupus was. It was like this new disease, I guess, that just came up. But when they told me and my mother, we were all confused, like, what is lupus? We don't know. But we did our own research. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that affects your body, which is your kidneys. It could affect your heart, your bones, your joints. And what it does is, okay, let me break it down for you. When you get sick, just like a regular cold, your immune system fights it off. But if you have lupus, what happens is your healthy your healthy blood cells is getting attacked. Only because with lupus, your immune system is confused on what's healthy and what's not. So even with the healthy cells that's going on in your system, it's just attacking them and attacking them and attacking them, which makes my immune system very weak, where I can't fight off just regular colds or flus. My body's fighting itself, technically. That's what lupus does. Your body fights itself because it's thinking it's a virus. So when I was 11, when I got diagnosed, I was prescribed on this one medicine called prednisone, which is a steroid. Now, the steroid, what it does, and they did warn me that it will make you really hungry. So what I used to do was eat a lot. After I started taking the medicine, I started eating a lot. What the prednisone also did to me was take out my hair. Now, I used to get perms back in the day. I had to stop all that. I had to go natural. Because with the prednisone and me getting perms, it was just making my hair fall out even more. By the medicine itself, it's already taking out my hair. I had multiple bald spots in my head that I had to try to hide just to go to school. I went from maybe, I was like 120, not even that. I was really, really skinny, to 230 pounds in just a matter of weeks, only by taking this medicine. What the medicine also does is it stunted my growth. I'm 4'10", and I'm 20 years old. It stunted my growth. And since I've been on it for a long time, I might not even be able to grow anymore. And I found that out when I'm just 11 years old, finding all this information out and still having to go to school and try to live like a normal teenager. That was pretty hard. I'm losing my hair, I'm gaining weight, my self-esteem was very low. I thought I was very ugly, did not want to be here. My doctors told me I wouldn't see 16 years old and I wouldn't see 18 years old. But I'm 20 now, so that really makes me feel amazing. After I seen what the medicine was doing to my body, I had to change my mindset. I did have friends that were positive who was telling me, like, what is a normal teenager, princess? You just got to do what's right for you and make sure you're healthy. Yes, I had to go the extra mile to make sure I was healthy. I couldn't do everything that I guess that was in when everybody was doing it, only because I had to take care of myself. But then now I realize that it's good that I took care of myself the way I did. After I started seeing I was getting really heavy and I could barely walk, I started wanting to lose weight. So I started working out. I was on 13 different medicines because they didn't know which medicines would help the lupus to stop flaring up as much. Now, when they say flare up is something that happens every once in a while, but that's when you have like a reaction to the lupus. One time I had a butterfly rash. A butterfly rash is very known when you have lupus. It's a rash that is on your face and it is shaped as a butterfly. Your face is red, really, really red. What else? So I talked about the gaining weight, hair loss, the butterfly rash, stunning of my growth. I had this recent incident where I was living in Tampa, going to college, and I was working, and when I was working that day, I felt pain, like a lot of pain in the bottom of my feet, but I didn't think nothing of it. I was standing on my feet for a while, and I was working, so I was just like, oh, I'm just tired. But the very next day, I could not move a bone in my body. I could not move. If I moved, it would hurt so bad. Now, I don't recommend a lot of doctors, rheumatologists at that in Tampa because I really feel like they don't know what they're talking about. I knew what I was talking about, but they wanted to say that it was muscle spasms, which it really wasn't. It was my lupus flaring up. When I tell you I could not move, if somebody touched me, I scream, I cry. That's how bad it hurt. I was in the hospital and my uncles tried to pick me up just to get in a wheelchair to go to try to use the bathroom. And I guess they kind of stretched my back a little bit, and I just bawled out, cried, and screamed. That's all I could do because I was in so much pain. And it felt like the pain was getting tighter and tighter and would not let go. That was the worst feeling. I missed so much tests, classes, everything. And they end up trying to take my financial aid away from me because I could not finish school only because my lupus was really acting up. When your lupus acts up and you get in the hospital and you know you have to be in the hospital, they will admit you because lupus can get really bad. And once you're in that hospital room, you already know you're going to be admitted. You already know. And you're going to be in there for some time. You're going to be there for some time. So you better buckle down, get everything you need, have the support you have, and get in there. It is hard. It is really hard. But I put on a smile every day. Every day, even when I'm down. Put on a smile every day. And I make sure I tell everybody that I love them, and I try to stay as positive as I can be. Another thing that gets lupus to flare up is stress. If I'm underneath a lot of stress, that's another thing that could put me in the hospital. That's anybody with lupus. That's why they tell you not to stress or find stress relievers. Because that's best, honestly. If you're stressing about the smallest things, you're harming yourself. And I've learned that. Over the years that I have been on this earth, I have learned that stress is not that important. Especially when your health is on the line. But I honestly thank God that I have lupus because it taught me so much and it grew me up a lot. I grew up kind of like a little princess, honestly, because everything was done for me. I didn't really have to do a lot. I'm not saying that I had it like that at all, but my parents used to do everything for me. So the fact that I have this and I have to take it upon myself to make sure I'm okay opened my eyes so much more. At first, I didn't want to listen to my doctors. I didn't want to take my medicine and nothing like that. But then I seen the consequences that it comes with when you don't take your medicine properly. When you just want to be a free spirit. And that will be putting you in the hospital and getting bad news every time you go to the doctors. I was tired of that. I want to hear good news when I walk in the doctor room. I have not had a normal growth spurt, but that's okay. Being short is kind of fun. I respect the doctors that took care of me until I've gotten older. And I'm seeing this new doctor and she's gonna help me in the future. And I'm very excited for the journey that we're gonna work on together. Lupus is not contagious. Lupus is not cancer. That is way off the line. Lupus can get fatal. That's if you're not taking your medicine properly. But if you keep a good diet, you exercise, don't stress, and actually enjoy life, lupus really will not bother you. will not. It'll only bother you if you let it. And when I was younger, I used to let it bother me to where I was depressed. But I'm not anymore. I'm happy. Even with the lupus, I'm happy. I had people picking on me. I had me just being hard on myself. But all that goes away. I was in high school and I got majority of my school to wear purple because purple is the color of lupus. And May is the month of lupus awareness. So I had my school wear purple and I passed out ribbons. And it just showed me so much support and how many people really do listen and want to know. If you have any questions or really want to know, just let me know. I have no problem sharing my story. I have no problem letting people know what it is. Because I feel like people need to be more aware. And more people are getting diagnosed with it. We just heard Nick Cannon not too long ago got diagnosed. Selena Gomez, Toni Braxton has it. I had a high school teacher. She got diagnosed and she's asking me questions on what happened to you. How do I get through this? It's a community. We can all help each other. Everybody could know. I used to be scared to talk about it, but now I'm not scared at all. I'm 20 years old living with lupus. That amazes me. But I'm going to live a long life. I really feel like I will live a long life, especially if I take care of myself. I really can't think about anything else, but if you have any more questions, comments, anything, write them in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to my story. If you want any more details, just let me know. And I'll be just a comment away, really. Or a video away. Bye.